Okay, well, it's a day late, but welcome to the Wrestling Guild podcast, where we talk about Impact Wrestling, most of all. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about an older explosion match, too. But anyway, that's it. A lot of things going on in Impact Wrestling. The internet has been blowing up with a bunch of news. I don't know if I don't know if it's important that we talk about all the news. I mean, there are people that left the company. There's been speculations that they were going to leave the company a long time, but now they are officially gone. I don't know if it's worth talking about that or to talk about it when they actually do leave, because I think they're all they're only going to have their final matches. So it feels kind of weird to talk about it now. My name is Chris Mary Holtman. With me, I have Nick Anderson, who hates KM.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's like just tall and big.
Sounds like somebody's jealous.
No, but I mean that's why he's so hard to maneuver and like take him down, because he's so tall. He has the upper hand. So I don't know. He's just and now he betrayed Impact by going to the top team. So yeah,
so you just hate him.
Yeah, I mean, and he's not a good wrestler anyway. So.
But what we do need to talk about when it comes to news is that Impact has launched a Twitch stream, Twitch account, and that's where you're going to get to see Barbed Wire Massacre right after Impact airs on Thursday. And of course, on our Tuesday podcast next week, we're probably going to talk about Barbed Wire Massacre. So you need to download that shit quick.
Boom.
So you can see some blood and guts. We're going to talk about Impact that aired on the 11th of January. Interesting part here, we're still in Ontario, Canada. It seems like we're still going to be in Ontario, Canada next week, which is, that is what it is. I think so, because they were talking about in the show, they were talking about that they're going to be filming from Detroit. Johnny Impact, Patron, and Drake were talking about that we're going to wrestle each other in Detroit, which means that what we know is going to happen in the Impact Zone in Orlando is obviously not happening next week. That makes me, I mean, I don't know how you feel, but I don't really like that they're showing programs while they still have material, while they're taping material, and when it comes out, what happens. A lot of people, Impact went out and announced that the title had changed hands, for instance, and people leaving the company. And it's weird when you're sitting there, Drake is still your champion when you're watching it, and know that it's not even happening next week. It's happening in like 2 weeks' time.
That's a great point. Yeah, I mean, it just destroys the moment,
the illusion.
I
mean, I'm fine with it not knowing. If I didn't know, if there was a way, I mean, sure, I could stop watching or stop reading any spoilers, and I don't read the spoilers. But the thing is that when you're online on your social media and you follow wrestlers and you follow whatever, it comes up, and you can't help but see it.
Yeah, I mean,
and especially when Impact Wrestling themselves announce it.
Yeah, sometimes like I haven't even seen like the actual episode, and then they say, "Oh yeah, this guy is the new champion."
Yeah,
it destroys. Yeah, I mean,
it destroys the illusion. I would wish they would have ended the tapings, whatever they taped. They should have ended that last week, and this week should have been what they started taping in Orlando, because now the tapings are over.
No.
So anyway. A lot of things happening, a lot of movement, people are getting worried, a lot of news agencies are saying, oh, well, nobody stays at Impact too long. But hopefully with the new regime, they're bringing in people who are going to stay there a little bit longer. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I think we'll talk about all the departing when they depart.
When they actually happen.
Yeah, when it happens. So we live in a bubble where Impact Wrestling is happening every Thursday night and not pre-taped last year.
Yep.
Okay? We can agree on that. How did you like this Impact?
It It was like a normal Impact episode.
Yeah, I can say it. To me, it was actually a little bit difficult to get through because it seems like a lot of things happened.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of talking, which is fine because it furthers storylines. But it was like almost like too much happening.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that there were so many different things that were happening that I kind of like when there was when 1 hour had passed and there was still going to be like 3 matches coming, basically almost.
You had a hard time like keeping.
It's like really we've gone through an hour and we still have like 3 matches left.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. It kind of. It was so, but obviously this time I didn't actually watch Impact in one sitting. I watched it in several different ones, in 3 different sittings, which meant that, I guess maybe that's why it took long. I don't know how you felt.
I mean, I went to 2 segments, 40 minutes and then 40 minutes. I think the first 40 minutes was pretty good, and the second 40 minutes was also pretty good. So I wasn't really complaining. Okay. I kind of liked it, but at the same time, they were talking. Quite a lot.
Yeah, I don't have it. As I said, I don't have anything against talking because it furders the storyline. But I just I have so much written. That's the thing. Is like I wrote a lot of crap. So anyway, so this is what happened. We start with Lashley and Dan Lambert coming to the ring. Lambert talks about how just ATT, the American Top Team, just not the telephone company, obviously, they just keeps punking out Impact.
His voice is so annoying. God damn it.
Yeah, he wants a moment of silence for James Storm. He introduces the latest member of ATT, which is KM, obviously. Although, really, did KM do that much other than taking out Moose and then slamming the beer bottle in Storm's head? He didn't even. Yeah. He wasn't even the one that took Storm.
No, and then he went to that gym and beat it up.
Yeah, well, that was other people.
No, I agree with you. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I really don't care because I hate them. So.
Yeah, but I think what I understand, a lot of people are saying that they're tired of Lambert but I think he's right now. He's like the best heel in Impact. I mean, because you really hate him. You just want him to be shut up. And he hasn't been shut up yet. So once he gets shut up, there's going to be it's going to be a big payoff. It's going to be a lot of satisfaction. Absolutely. I think that's important. That's the important part to take away from this. That he's going to get his comeuppance. And I think you really need that one really big bad guy that is difficult to take down. I mean, look at Star Wars, for instance. You're not taking down Darth Vader. No, until the end.
It takes several movies segments.
Yeah. So, anyway, KM cuts a promo. He says he's proven himself, that he helped retire Storm, and he took out Moose. Moose comes out and attacks KM. Lashley comes in for the save. AD Edwards comes in for the save, and Lambert just runs away. This sets up the match.
Chicken.
Yes, and it sets up the main event for the evening, which is KM, Bobby Lashley versus Eddie Edwards and Moose. Nice to see. It seems like Moose hasn't really been that active in these last tapings, so it's nice to see.
At least we get to see something.
Yes, although Moose was fighting RJ City at Explosion on the Explosion deal. EC3 comes down to the ring for his Grand Championship Open Challenge. Says that he's the best around.
This is such a good speech.
Yeah, you liked it?
Oh, it was so good. Like, he goes for, Matt Sydal, right?
Yeah.
Like, choked, and he came in here and there.
He doesn't have, it says, Sydal doesn't have a killer instinct. And then Petey Williams comes out. And this was actually not a Grand Championship match. It was just like a match between Petey Williams and EC3. There was nothing. And it seems like, I think Don Callis, one of the new managers of Impact, announced that it seemed like they're going to retire the Grand Championship belt and that they're going to add a different belt instead.
Okay.
Which I think, because he says that, 3 rounds doesn't really work in wrestling, stuff like that. But I don't know. I'm a little disappointed in that, because I did like the Grand Championship.
I mean, it makes the match a bit special.
Yeah, it makes it different, quicker and more intense. So
sad.
Yeah, but I mean, I also think that the Grand Championship was added by Billy Corgan, who was thinking of taking to take over Impact before Anthem went in and did it. So he was like the vice president of talent or something like that during that time. So he was the one who started the Grand Champion thing. So they probably don't want to take it in, which is issue because I don't know if you saw that. I've been posting a bunch of stuff from Twitter and stuff like that lately, and I hope you're looking at it.
I am looking. I promise. Yeah.
So then you would know that Billy Corgan's company, the National Wrestling Alliance, was at Impact.
That was that.
Because it was Tim Storm versus Josephus in an empty arena match, which I think we'll talk about. Even though that was actually taped on Sunday, it wasn't part of Impact. I mean, it wasn't because it was an empty arena match. It was just used. They just used Impact. So I think next week we watch it because you can see it on YouTube. It's free on YouTube. So we'll watch that match and we'll talk about it too next week. What do you think? What do you say?
Yeah, well, I mean, why not?
Why the hell not? Anyway, yes, Petey Williams and EC3. Looks like Petey Williams is going to win.
I mean,
but what happens?
No, I mean, okay. I mean, basically, we have this match, and it was pretty good and whatnot, but then it gets interrupted by Mr. Seidel, and that pretty much ends the match.
Yes, he gets DQ'd.
It's really, I don't know.
No. So it furthers the storyline between EC3 and Matt Seidel, which is interesting. I mean, nothing has been really resolved between the two of them. Plus, it gives both EC3 and Matt Seidel something to do. Petey Williams obviously just been used here in this for nothing. But I mean, he did. I mean, he did. He's good. He's good. Seriously, it's really amazing to me that Petey Williams, he just delivers every time. He just does.
That is true. I agree.
Then we have an interview with Ali backstage. What does she say?
I mean, I just want to say that she's becoming more like a serious wrestler.
Yeah,
and she's bitching at Royal. Not there's no
not
R. Royal Tanks. No, that's not it. Well, Vanessa.
Yes.
She's bitching at Vanessa, right?
Yeah, who attacked her the week before?
Oh yeah, that was by. So what? That planted a sea, between them.
Yes, they're gonna fight. They're gonna wrestle for. And she asks her if she wants to play, and she's gonna, they're gonna fight.
I don't like her. The Vanessa.
You don't like her? I mean, you're not supposed to like the bad guys.
Oh yeah.
You know that, right?
Okay. True.
Drake and Adonis arrive at the arena, and there's a lot of people talking outside our office here, but we'll do the best. So Drake and Adonis arrive. Alberto Patron is obviously upset. Seidel says he's just delivered a message to C3 and he wants a 60-minute time limit match. I'm not really sure what he's talking about here. If he wants an Iron Man match or whatever he wants, but he wants like a long match.
He basically wants EC3 to put his title on the line.
Yeah, without any time limits, really. So we'll see what happens with that. And then what happened?
We had like some real talk with Storm. I mean, it was.
What do you mean real talk? It was GWN flashback.
No, but it was like I don't know how to explain. I mean, it was real. Yeah.
Well, it was a GWN flashback from when James Storm won the World Championship. The only time he won the World Championship. What did you think about this? I mean,
I'm obviously happy about it, but I mean, what would you?
No, I mean, it was a big moment back in the day when he won, and the thing was, what had happened was that they had a Bound for Glory tournament, kind of thing where people were facing each other, and actually, what had happened was that Bobby Roode, who was there in the ring too, he won, and he faced Kurt Angle at Bound for Glory, but Kurt Angle cheated and stole the victory. And then Sting, who was the general manager at the time making matches, he decided that Storm was going to get a match against Kurt. And
through that match,
he won the championship belt. And then what happened was that Bobby Roode got the opportunity after, because James Storm and Bobby Roode were friends. James Storm got the opportunity, and that's when Bobby Roode turned on James Storm and smashed his head with a bottle and took the championship from him.
Wow, nice friend.
Yeah, that's how you do it. Okay, so anyway, that was that. And the real talk that you were talking about was probably the promo that James Storm cut afterwards when he was talking about after he won. Yeah. It's sad thing to say is, for me, from when I saw that when it happened, the sad thing was watching, James Storm, Bobby Roode, AJ Styles, and Frankie Kazarian all in the ring, and none of them are in the company anymore.
Oh yeah, because now when you got like a flashback to that match, and you saw all those people,
and I was just like, those great times, good times. But of course, we can all watch it on the GWN network, Global Wrestling Network. They are not a sponsor, but anyway, Laurel Van Ness faces Casey Spinelli. What say you about this?
It was I don't know. Vanessa, it was a great match. It was a good work.
I liked it. I thought they did very well together, actually. And Van Ness kind of like dropped a little bit of the goofiness and was a little bit more hard hitting in this one. I thought,
and there was like always something happening in the match. There was, because sometimes you have wrestlers and they're like just laying on the ground, chilling,
like a villain, maybe.
Yeah. So I'm happy. I'm satisfied with the match. I like it.
Laura Van Ness wins with the unprettier. Allie runs out and attacks Laurel, who just runs off, turns tail, and runs. Then we have Eli Drake with his championship address, where he cuts an awesome promo talking about standing tall. That Patron wants the title. He went back to his dummy.
Dummy.
Calls
the audience dummy.
He talks about that he's going to defend the title in Detroit, but then at the time he doesn't really know who. Your boy, Alberto, comes out.
I mean, he's bitching at Alberto, and Alberto comes out and teaches him the lesson. So
really, he taught him a lesson. He just yelled at him, basically.
Yeah, but that's. I mean, he basically said like he ain't no champion. No. You don't got any balls. What was it?
Cojones, which is testicles in Spanish. So you're going to take Spanish. So you need to know
I
these
need
words.
to learn that. And
I think it'll be fun when you have. When you're going to have Spanish and everything that you know is wrestling related. All the Spanish that you speak has to do with wrestling. How
did you know this is testicle? Oh, it was wrestling I watched.
Yes.
And we have even Johnny coming out.
Yes, Johnny comes out and he said, well, because Patron says that he'll be in Detroit. But on the other hand, why don't we do it right now? And then Impact comes out and basically says the same thing. You two are going to be in Detroit. I'm going to be in Detroit then too. Or why don't we take it right now?
Yeah. Why should we wait?
And in the end, they all fight and Impact takes them all out. He stands tall this time.
But bullshit. Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. Then we have a Pluto TV rewind.
Did you see? I don't really like these Pluto TV rewinds, but this one was great.
And then when they shaved Raven's head,
like they had, I don't know what they were. I mean, they obviously had a match, and they were
it was a hair versus hair match. I'm thinking I haven't seen that one. That must have been way back. From way back, I had not seen that. I think Raven, was on his way out when I started watching Impact.
I don't know, man. It was amazing. That's what you call a rewind from Pluto TV. That's why.
You want to get. Yeah. Why don't you tweet at Pluto TV and tell them this is the kind of rewind I want to see? Yeah, that was
good.
That was good stuff. Yeah. Yes, Lambert. In the back gives props to KM is basically what happens, and then Chandler Park and Joseph Park are talking. Chandler Park says he's like awesome. He's a real athlete, although his match was.
But then you have this
Jimmy Jacobs.
Yeah,
the zombie
why is
princess.
That winning? Why is he bitch? I mean, why is he going for?
I think he just wants to stir up trouble.
Why? I
mean, we'll see. We don't know. I don't know.
Because I mean, he says, and he's talking about like where did Abyss go? Yada yada.
Like, Abyss. And the thing is, it looks like that Abyss will be gone for a while because of an injury that he has. So he'll be Joseph Park for a while, and he'll just be working on backstage stuff. So I don't think we'll see him wrestle in the near future. But anyway, yeah, Jimmy Jacobs says that Abyss has become a wimp, and he threatens them with Congo Kong. And next week we're going to see
monster.
Yeah, well, he's a monster. Next week we're going to see Congo Kong versus Chandler Parks. We'll see what happens with that. We'll see. Oh, and then OVE is in LAX Clubhouse. This was very nicely filmed. It was like, yeah.
I mean, they had they were robbing them. I mean, the clubhouse, and they were destroying it. I mean, they were just just moving. I mean, just flipping tables, throwing chairs, taking what money was it?
Yeah, taking money and
Is this
alcohol.
some kind of heist?
Anyway, then after that, the LAX is there, comes in once they're gone. OVE is gone, and they're upset. Conan calls for a Barbed Wire Massacre, and that's what we're going to get. And that's when that's going to be shown on Twitch because it's too violent for Pop TV.
Mm-hmm.
Either that's true, or this is just a way for them to get on the Twitch stream.
We'll just have to see. I mean,
we'll have to see. After that, I'm excited.
Obviously, I mean, because they're saying kids cannot see this, we cannot show it. So,
but anybody can see Twitch, so it's not to protect the kids.
That's true.
Who is on Twitch though? Kids.
That's true. Great logic. Yes.
Anyway, we get to the trios match, which is trios X Division match. Caleb Conley, Trevor Lee, Hakeem Zayn versus Sanjay Dutt, Desmond Xavier, and Garza. My shoulder is still fucked up. Junior. Yeah. How did you like this?
Yeah. It was a short but great match.
Yeah, this is exactly what how you showcase the X Division. Quick bet. I mean, Desmond Xavier was pulling out all the stops, doing some good stuff, and I think the back and forth between him and Hakeem Zayn was really good. I think this was the first time I thought that Zayn. I was impressed with Zayn.
Yeah. I mean, Garza was okay. I mean, still,
but he did a lot of cool stuff, even though his shoulder was messed up.
But
he still pulled off his pants.
I think Sanjay and Desmond Xavier, that's the two.
Yeah, well, they carry the match.
They carry the match. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. It was good. Xavier wins with the first flash. They messed up a little bit there because it seemed like Garza couldn't get out of the ring. Wow. So it was a little messed up there. Ishimori comes down with the X Division Championship and shakes Xavier's hands, and they were going to face each other in Detroit next week, I think it was. I think they were talking about that. I mean, I don't know if the whole show is going to be from Detroit or whatever. I don't know.
Maybe just a small segment. And
then the main event, KM, Bobby Lashley versus Moose and Eddie Edwards. How did you like this?
I don't know. I mean, we were watching the last little bit of it together here, but I don't know. It was an okay match. A bit slow. I don't know. They weren't that motivated to actually wrestle.
No, I don't think so. I think the thing is that by the end of this show, I was a little bit tired. I think of it. I think it should have ended. I think either they should have cut out the X Division match,
okay,
and had that maybe an explosion or something like that. Or I put that somewhere else, and that they should have given more time, and then maybe a quicker pace for this match.
Yeah, quicker pace,
something like that. But I mean, I thought it was still good. It's still a good heavyweight match. It ends with Lambert interfering and KM beating Eddie Edwards. I don't know if that's going to further something between Eddie Edwards and KM, but obviously, I mean, if KM was able to pin the GHC champion, then usually when you pin a champion, you usually have an automatic number one contendership.
Yep.
So we'll see about that. You said that there was a segment down afterwards too?
Yeah, I think we had well, I think I know. I mean, yeah, we have basically an OV, a promotion, I guess.
A promo, yeah.
Yeah, a promo. And they were basically promoting Barbed Wire Massacre and watch it on Twitch because it was what was it kids could not watch it.
That's what they said. Not safe for kids, only safe for gamers.
Mature viewers be advised. No, I don't know what it says. Unmature viewers. Yeah. Basically, they were promoting the Barbed Wire Massacre, and that gets me really excited. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Get Twitch. Twitch it up.
Twitch it up.
You can see House of Hardcore on Twitch too, so that's cool. That's a wrestling promotion. So anyway, we've gone so long. I don't know if we need to talk about War Child versus Hercules. Was that anything you want to talk about?
I mean, no. I mean,
it was what it was. But I mean, the only thing I really want to talk about is that I was quite intrigued by War Child, which is just John Boland painted as a zebra. But I mean, he had like blood and stuff like that, and I think it's an interesting character, and I think they could do a lot with it. For instance, with Rosemary or something like that.
There's potential.
I think there's potential there. Absolutely, it's a cool gimmick. Congo Kong, and they could be jungle buddies or something. I don't know.
Because of that.
Jimmy Jacob could be their zookeeper. I don't know. Anyway,
these are humans.
Yeah, I know. Well, what would you rate this show?
Impact C plus.
Yeah, I'd give it a C plus too. It didn't get me over it didn't get me overly excited. There was good matches there, further some storylines, but in the end, I think it didn't excite me.
But we have seen better episodes.
Yes, but I think also it had to do a little bit with that. That it seems like they're just flushing out the last couple of things that they had before at the end of the tapings.
Just to get back.
Yeah,
we have this tape.
Yeah. And I think we'll say the same after we see the end of these 5-day tapings or 6-day tapings that they had in Orlando. I think we're going to get tired of it too, because they can't really do like new things because it's the end of the tapings. You're not going to have a new person coming in on a Sunday. So we'll see.
It's true.
But anyway, that's that. That's it for this episode. Follow us on all the social media outlets that you can find. We're there, except for can't find us on Tinder or Grindr or anything like that.
How do you know?
Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe you'll be there. I don't know. You can also read my article on sltdwrestling.com. My latest article is actually the top 5 wrestlers that I would like to see in Impact and why.
Yeah, it was pretty cool because you put these video clips as well.
Yeah.
So you can watch.
Yeah. Did you watch them?
I watched 1 or 2 of them, but I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
But I mean, I'm just saying, the way you did it was good.
Yeah,
I liked it.
Thank you. Yes, and probably most likely I'll get a second kind of article series on sltdwrestling.com where I will review Impact digital content. So the stuff that they're going to put up on Twitch, because they're going to be putting up a bunch of different shows on Twitch.
Oh, so that's what you want people to know about the Twitch. Okay. Okay, gotcha.
Anyway, for Nick Anderson, I am Chris Mary Holtzman. What do we say at the end of the show?
Something cool.
Okay. Is that it? Something cool. Good.